SportsGlobe family, welcome again to another YouTube video in the SportsGlobe YouTube chattings, right? So here the thing is, the greatest of all time sprinter, male. Still a big debate in the USA, so much so that them asks one of the greatest that ever run, the 100 meters in the United States and the 200 meters, Tyson Gay. The man who was born on August 1982. Tyson Gay, still a young man in AD. 1982 he was born, right, in Kentucky. But he subsequently moved to Florida and lived there for a while now. Went to, Arkansas University. He's about 5'11" and I'm reading out him thing, people. So don't too worry about it. But we're definitely talking about what he had to say about the greatest of all time sprinter. And I kind of find it very, very interesting, and the way he chronologize it, in terms of who he has as the greatest sprinter of all times. And hey, you might be surprised to see we had definitely, or you might not be surprised. Hey, who knows? But of course, he's a US sprinter, track and field, 100, 200 meters, 4x1 in his event. Some of the medals that he had won, of course, he had the American national record for a while. This episode is sponsored by J&J Garage. Top quality, cheap prices.
J Garage, we do excellent brakes and clutch repair. Pressure plates, flywheels, disc brake pad, brake shoes, clutches. Any job you have, cars, vans, jeeps, buses, trucks, and tractors. Just call J&J Garage, 1-876-408-3836, 887-7504. For all your pickup and delivery service throughout the 14 parishes.
In the 100 meter, if not, still not having that 9.69 as the national record, that's what it is that he did in Shanghai way back in 2009. Back then, of course, when he ran up against Usain Bolt and still have 19.58 that he did the same 2009, in New York, running up against the big man. Same way. So that's some of his credential. He had won, a gold medal in Osaka, 2007 gold medal in the 200 meters of the same Osaka games when he was winning, and the 4x1 they take all the triple that year, 2007, until the big man step in, and that's where he start to get the silver medal, 2009 in the 100 meters at the World Championship, right? So that's some of his greatest achievements, in this event. But I really want to play this video and for you to listen carefully, people. Listen carefully to what he has to say, because I want you to respond as well and tell me what you think of his top 5 greatest of all time sprinters. Right? This is what Tyson Gay had to say. I like what he had to say. There's a whole lot of credit that I can give to exactly what he had to say. The man is a genius in terms of it, because him said that people have been knocking on him door, want him to to vocal this thing for a long time. But guess what? Him say, listen, them give him 5 athletes, and he must just rank them based on the greatest of all of them. So I want you to take a listen to what he had to say and how he chronologically did it, and the reason why he put the people them there and rank them in that kind of a way. And it is very interesting in what he had to say. So, I want to present this to you. Of course, I found this video from Track Legend YouTube channel, and you guys can go there and check out them thing. I'll leave a link there for you as well to go and check out their YouTube channel as well, and support them, because them look like them just start the thing. But it was a good interview, and it's a great thing that he did. So check out the video, and I'm going to just have it and play it right here for you to check it out. All right, so listen up and tell me exactly what you think and how you feel about Tyson Gay, one of the greatest that had ever done it, and how and what he had to say about the top 5 greatest of all time. The goat them said, but I know why couldn't be the pig, but it's the greatest of all time. So hear what Tyson had to say in regards to that.
People ask me all the time, Tyson, who's the greatest sprinter ever? And honestly, for years, I avoided answering, not because I didn't have an opinion, because I knew whatever answer I gave would make somebody angry. Track and field fans love numbers. 9.58, 19.19. Olympic gold medals, world championships, records, statistics. Everybody wants a formula. Everybody wants a ranking. But earlier this year, somebody asked me the question differently. They handed me 5 names, not mine, just 5. And they said, no politics, no diplomacy, no safe answer, rank them. So that's what I want to do. For the first time, my list, not based on medals, not based on records, based on something much harder to measure, greatness. And the funny thing is, the man I put at number 5 is probably the athlete who understood pressure better than anyone I have ever seen. Michael Johnson. I remember being a young sprinter and watching him run, not sprint, run. Because what Michael did looked different. Everybody else seemed to be fighting the track. Michael looked like he owned it. His posture, his confidence, his gold shoes, everything about him said one thing: I belong here. And that's what impressed me. Not the medals, the certainty. You have to understand something about sprinting. Most people think fear disappears when you become great. It doesn't. The bigger the race, the bigger the fear. The difference is what you do with it. Michael made pressure look invisible. Every championship, every final, every moment, same expression, same confidence, same belief. I studied that because I needed it. When you walk into a stadium with 80,000 people expecting you to win, your legs feel different. Your breathing feels different. Your thoughts become louder. Michael taught me that greatness isn't the absence of pressure. It's the ability to make everyone think you're unaffected by it. That's a rare gift. And that's why he's number 5. But the man at number 4 taught me something completely different. He taught me how to survive. You know what's strange? The older I get, the more respect I have for people who survive. Not people who shine for one season, people who survive. And when I think about survival in sprinting, I think about Justin Gatlin. We raced for years. Some of the hardest races of my career came against him. And what people don't understand is how difficult it is to stay relevant in sprinting. This sport doesn't forgive age. It doesn't forgive mistakes. It doesn't forgive injuries. One small decline and somebody younger takes your place. Yet somehow Justin kept coming back again and again and again. Different generations, different rivals, different eras, same competitor. I remember lining up against him and realizing that experience can be just as dangerous as raw speed, because experienced athletes know things. They know how to stay calm. They know how to manage championship moments. They know how to suffer. And Justin suffered. He fell. He got criticized. He got counted out. Then he came back anyway. That kind of resilience doesn't show up in record books, but athletes notice it. We always notice it because we know how difficult it really is. Number 4, not because he was the fastest, because he refused to disappear. And the next man on my list, I never raced him. But every sprinter in history has raced his shadow. Carl Lewis. Different generations, different worlds. But every sprinter in history has raced his shadow, whether they admit it or not. When I was young, people talked about speed. When they talked about Carl, they talked about winning. And those are not always the same thing. There have been faster men. There have been stronger men. But very few athletes have understood championship racing the way Carl did. That's a skill people overlook. You can run fast in June. You can run fast in July. Can you run your best when the whole world is watching? Can you do it repeatedly for years, for decades? That's different. Carl has something that every great athlete secretly wants. Control, not over opponents, over himself. I've watched old races, big races, Olympic races. And what always amazed me wasn't his speed, it was his patience. Everybody else looked nervous. Carl looked prepared, like he already knew what was about to happen. As athletes, we're taught to attack. Carl taught the world another lesson. Sometimes greatness comes from trust, trusting your preparation, trusting your process, trusting yourself. That lesson never gets old. Number 3, Carl Lewis. Now we're entering dangerous territory. because the next name might surprise a lot of people. Everybody thinks they know who belongs here. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a favorite. But the man at number 2 is probably the most beautiful sprinter I have ever seen. Not the fastest, not the strongest, the most beautiful, Asafa Powell. I know what some people are thinking. Number 2? Really? Yes. Let me explain. There are athletes who break records. Then there are athletes who redefine possibility. Before Asafa, people talked about the 100 meters one way. After Asafa, they talked about it differently. His stride looked effortless, almost unfair. No wasted movement, no panic, no struggle. Just speed, pure speed. I remember watching him and wondering how someone that big could move that smoothly. Every sprinter stole something from Asafa. Maybe not consciously, but we did. Because greatness leaves fingerprints. You see it in technique, you see it in training, you see it in the next generation. And Asafa's fingerprints are everywhere. People remember the Olympic disappointments. Athletes remember something else. They remember the standard, the possibility, the belief that the human body could move faster than we imagine. And for that reason, he sits at number 2 on my list. But there is only one person left. And honestly, the moment I saw his name, I laughed because there was no debate, no argument, no uncertainty. Usain Bolt. And let me tell you something. People think the scariest thing about Bolt was the speed. It wasn't. The speed was only part of it. The scariest thing was certainty. You could feel it. Everybody in the stadium could feel it. The cameras felt it. The crowd felt it. The athletes felt it before the gun even fired. Usain believed he was going to win. Not hoped, not wished, believed. I've raced him many times. I've stood next to him. I've looked down the track knowing I was in shape, knowing I was prepared, knowing I could run something special, and still understanding that I might need the race of my life just to make things interesting. That's not normal. Most champions dominate. Bolt changed reality. He made impossible times feel normal. Think about that. 9.58. People say the number all the time now, but I was there. I know what that number means. I know what it represents. It wasn't just a world record. It was a wall getting demolished. And the thing I admire most wasn't the victories. It was the joy, the smile, the showmanship, the way he carried the sport. Sprint athletes spend so much energy fighting pressure. Bolt somehow turned pressure into entertainment. Millions of people who had never watched track suddenly cared about track. Millions of kids picked up spikes because of him. That's impact. That's influence. That's greatness. But here's the real reason he's number 1. The hardest thing in sports isn't becoming great. The hardest thing is forcing everyone around you to become greater. And that's exactly what Usain did. He forced me to improve. He forced Justin to improve. He forced the entire sport to improve. Every time we thought we had reached the limit, he pushed the limit further away. And that's why he's number 1. Not because he won, not because he broke records, because he changed what everybody else believed was possible. But when I look back at all 5 names, I realized something important. You know what's interesting about these 5 men? It's not the medals, it's not the records, it's not even the victories, it's the lessons. Michael Johnson taught confidence. Justin Gatlin taught resilience. Carl Lewis taught trust. Asafa Powell taught possibility. And Usain Bolt taught belief, real belief, the kind that changes history. That's what greatness means to me. Not what you accomplish, what you leave behind, what remains after the races are over, what remains after the stadium empties, what remains after the records eventually fall. Because records always fall, every single one. But influence survives. Legacy survives. The people you change survive. And that's why these names matter. Not because of what they achieved, because of what they gave to everyone who came after them. My name wasn't on this list today. And honestly, I found that kind of refreshing. Maybe one day some young sprinter will sit in a chair like this. Maybe somebody will hand him 5 names. Maybe one of those names will be mine. Maybe not. Either way, that's okay. Because greatness was never about being remembered forever. It's about giving something to the sport that wasn't there before you arrived. These 5 men did that without question. They changed sprinting. They changed athletes. They changed what the world believed was possible. And when people ask me who the greatest sprinters ever were, these are the names I think about. And I wouldn't change a single one.
Yeah, so that's real. As humble as it can get, people. Hey, listen, you can't get more humble than that, you know, because when a man not even involve him own name, and of course Tyson is up there with everybody, any sprinter you can want to think about in the world within our lifetime. Tyson name must be mentioned all the time, and for him not to even include him name in there, it just tell you about how humiliating, how humble this guy is. The guy not even worried, man. So boy, my name, if you notice, my name is not even in there. And he has the US national record, and they not even put his name in there. But because when people are measure greatest of all time, them always look for who are the fastest, who are the this, who are the that. But nobody ever look at the way the guy spoke about it, the way him chronologically mentioned these things. And it's something that we have to talk about because that's important. You know, people talk about greatest of all time, Messi, that. But do we stand and measure these people who have been doing fantastic work? That's yes. Fantastic work, yes. Fantastic work, yes. But how do we measure the fantastic work? Do they leave anything? Do they change anything? Do they cause anybody to become different? When people talk about Messi and Pele, people talk about Messi as if, oh, Messi scored 10 goals and Pele scored 9 goals. That don't make you great. Greatness is when you change the sport. You put things in it, make you change a thing. Man change a thing like kicking at the ball, a different style of kicking at the ball, that it becomes a part of the generation of kicking that ball that kind of way. A different style of play. That kind of a thing. When you think about these athletes that Tyson definitely chronicalized, I don't even know if I said the right word, but hey, listen, you get what I say. The way all him chronologically talk about these athletes is exactly how you're supposed to be measuring people. Not because of that kind of thing. Tyson Gay definitely put the thing in a nice order and a nice context. We need to start measure our people. Everybody say everybody great. I don't know we use that word that so loosely all the time. Greatness must be measured in a particular kind of way, man. I must stop do that. I don't think Messi greater than Pele. Because Messi not create nothing in a football that has changed football, none at all. No more than him play entertaining. Him play entertaining like any other baller. Mbappe, Pele, Maradona, entertaining gone across the board. Everybody do that. So I don't think nothing special about Maradona. About Messi. There's nothing special about it. So I don't know everybody I jump up and down, but here, the way how Tyson deal with this matter and contextualize it and put it in this kind of context and the way how he measure them is something that we all can talk about. And we can always have a debate over how him do it, you know. And if you think that measuring athletes or measuring sports people this kind of a way is a good way. But me say, bottom line, for me, greatest of all time must be how you transcend the discipline, whether it is track and field, whether it is football, whether it is cricket, whatever it is. Have you left anything, as Tyson said, as a legacy? That the ones who comes after you. And another thing when I'm saying, another thing that definitely boggles my mind too, you know, and it's something that I contemplate too, is how him get the people that he was competing against to raise them game. Because when you see him was competing in every single championships, Olympics, whatever it is, everybody know that if you want to get amongst the medal, you got to run 9 seconds. As a matter of fact, you'd have in a one race maybe 8 or maybe the whole 8 lineup was 9 seconds of at least. Everybody had 9 seconds under them belt. People was doing personal best like crazy during them. As a matter of fact, the bar was raised and it transcend the thing even beyond just the males. Because the females start to become even dominant. He had raised the entire sport. I remember him stop and him watch South African 400 meter guy run a super splendid 400 meter world record that time. And that was during his time. And when you say even him can raise him game, you must know the thing it was like an epidemic throughout the sport of track and field. So much so that even money get gone up for everybody. I know it come down back that him now run. So guess what? The man do the right thing. Tyson, big up. Many kudos for the way how you did this thing. I really like the way you do it. And I really want fans to join in and chime in. Tell me what you think about the way how he chronicled the things, the facts that he used, the evidence that he put forward, and the reason why he said what he said. Greatest of all time must come with more than just winning the thing, more than just getting the medal. Because everybody do. He could have run 10 seconds and win the Olympics and you get the medal. But is that great? Come on, let's talk about about it some more. Hey, listen.
Hey everyone, check out this bump-free spray. It stops grown hair. To show you just one spray, it's that easy. No bumps, no irritation, just smooth skin. Get yours today.
Of course, this is SportGlobe. So leave me your comments. Tell me what you think. Who is your greatest sprinter of all time? And about to give us some little half-hearted thing because I'm get 10 medal or 2 medal. That don't make no sense. Tell us who is your greatest of all time. Leave us your comments and like the thing. And of course, I must say big kudos to the person who did this interview. Track legend, what them name again? Track legend something another. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, man, go look up Track Legend. Track Legend Rewind and check them out. Subscribe to them and follow them. And leave your comments with them as well. But leave your comments with us. Let us start a conversation in regards to how we measure sporting personality. Alright, so until the next time, this is Richard from SportGlobe. Thanks for watching.